What is your position on direct filing juveniles into adult court?
Well, you know what? One of the things that really one of the things that motivated me to run is working with juvenile offenders. When I started working with my clients that were in their early 20s, I would just meet these guys that were just so funny, cute, charming, intelligent, talented. And here is this kid that is who was looking at life in state prison, and his entire future is in my hands. And it was seeing just the total lack of, yeah, just lack of empathy that in regard to that was just exhibited by the attorneys at the state attorney's office, which really prompted me to run. I saw my clients being abused. One of them was a young man who had no prior record, was 17 years old, and was standing outside of a house while his co-defendant, who had a significant record, was inside of the house handing him the property, committing a burglary. One of the boxes that he picked up had a gun in it. And this young man gave a full confession and stated, yeah, I took the box and I saw it had a gun in it. The state attorney's office charged him with an armed burglary, which made it mandatory to charge him as an adult, where they could have just charged him with the burglary to a dwelling and grand theft of a firearm, and he would have stayed in the juvenile division. I have fought to keep this young man out of state prison for probably, like, I don't know, it's got to be 7 years at this point, because he's in a never-ending trap of adult court probation that is as a result of the fact that he's just extremely immature. And and he gets pulled over literally weekly in the neighborhood that he lives in. And so, I have personal experience in seeing the toll on human life that these types of decisions make on people. And when you direct file an individual and just give them decades in prison, and without any thought of the fact that this person who's 18 or 17 years old is going to be an entirely different human being in 5 years, you didn't even give him a chance.
Right.
We really need to take a look at what we're doing as far as direct files. Now, I've sat down with the head of the Severn Poverty Law Center and really talked about the types of best practices that ought to be put into place. And they're trying to develop best practices by looking at all of the different ways that direct file decisions are approached throughout the nation. So I'm watching very carefully what their parameters are. But one of the things that we're going to be doing is a committee approach on the front end of that decision before the child when the case first comes in. And I want to create a committee that's filled with psychologists, social workers, with attorneys, with people that are part of the Department of Juvenile Justice, educators, community leaders that are basically really looking towards prevention and solutions to prevent this person from going on the path to the state prison pipeline, and really looking towards any way that we can resolve a matter and still protect public safety while keeping a juvenile in the juvenile system. It's one of my goals to significantly reduce direct file, and I'm very confident that you're going to see that reduction when I become the state attorney.
Yes. And